Ooh, goodness, streaming live. Let's see.
Hello, everyone. Come on in the room. Just give me a minute to get us all set up. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to share it on a few pages here real quick. Thank you for joining us. Let me share it here. As you come in the room, please share the video. That would be awesome. If you guys can share this out, just give me a minute to share it on a few of my pages. Okay, let's see. There we go. Come on in the room. There's one. Okay, let me share it on my alopecia page, alopecia support group page. And we'll get started. Hello, everybody. You guys are awesome. I love it. I love it when they show up. Yes. Come on in the room. Okay. Okay, y'all. Let's see here. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just, my charger be acting up sometimes, so give me a minute to make sure. Hello, everybody. Okay, I see all my peeps. Y'all coming up in the room. Y'all share it out. I see y'all. Yes. I see you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited. Welcome to Bald Life Magazine, Living a Bald Life. We do this show every single week. I mean, every single week, and we're getting close to our 1-year anniversary. So I'm so excited and honored to be here. And let me tell you guys about Bald Life Magazine and the purpose of our platform. So Bald Life Magazine is not only a magazine, which we are the only magazine, all bald magazine in the marketplace. Now, can I get some hearts for that? I mean, we have created history. We have created history. We are the only bald life, on the market, all bald people in the magazine. And that's amazing in and of itself. And so I'm just excited about that. But what is Bald Life Magazine all about? Bald Life Magazine is a platform for men, women, and children that are living with hair loss due to alopecia, cancer, medically induced, or simply by choice. This platform is for them to share their stories, stand in their truth, and to unapologetically rock their crowns. We're rocking our crowns. Yes. This platform is just a safe space for us to have our own community, a space for us to encourage one another, to share awareness, and just to have a voice. I mean, a lot of people don't know what alopecia is. And so on our platform, it's just an opportunity to just hear different ones' stories and how they have overcome their journey. And so what is alopecia? Alopecia is an autoimmune disease. It's where your immune system attacks your hair follicle and causes your hair to fall out. It's not contagious, so you don't have to worry about catching it or breathing the same air or standing next to someone that has it. You're not going to catch it. But alopecia affects 6.8 million people in the US, 147 million people worldwide. And I really think those numbers are off because so many people suffer with this disease in silence. A lot of people don't talk about it. They feel like they're the only person on the planet, like I did. I thought I was the only person in the world dealing with this disease, but I wasn't. And so I think those numbers are a little off, but I'm just excited. to be here. There's all types of different types of alopecia. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as we have our conversation. And I just want to welcome to the platform my beautiful sister. I have to say that we look alike. Okay. I want to welcome to the platform and to the show my beautiful sister. I mean, absolutely beautiful, beautiful chocolate, that melanin, it's popping. Darlene, how are you, sis?
I am wonderful. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
it is so good to have you here. It is so good to have you here. I don't take it lightly, because I tell people all the time that anytime someone wants to share their story, it's an honor for me to hear it. And by us sharing our stories, it brings healing. And our stories are not for us. True. I believe our stories are for someone else, because anytime someone can hear about someone else's journey, it brings hope and it brings healing. And so I don't take it lightly that you said yes to me. I don't take it lightly. So we're going to jump right on in here and we're just going to talk. So let me ask you, sis. First of all, and I usually don't ask this, but I have to because you're just so beautiful. Do you mind telling our audience, how old are you? Because you are absolutely beautiful. Can I get some hearts? I mean, is she beautiful, y'all, or what? Come on.
Well, honey, child, I am approaching 64. And honey, I am glad about it. Thank God for every minute. Yes.
64.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
So how long have you been? Well, let me ask you this way. How old were you when you first noticed signs of hair loss or thinning?
It was probably about 48, 49.
Okay.
48, 49.
Wow. Okay. So you weren't dealing with this at a young age?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, because I started losing my hair as an adult as well. So wow. Okay. Okay. So what was going on? I mean, did you look in a mirror? You saw your hair thinning? Kind of talk to us about what was going on in your life when you noticed your hair kind of shedding.
When I first noticed, I actually thought it was because my hairstylist had put a hairpiece in my hair, you know, like a highlight, and she's glued it in. And then, you know, after that, but when I took it out, I could see that my hair was attached to it. And I thought that's what it was. But, you know, a year or so later, you know, it starts thinning out, you know, more and more. And I was looking at a picture just the other day of all my sisters and my nieces, and we were all took the, you know, picture together, and I could see how my hair was. And I was like, wow. But did I say anything about it? No, you know, I just noticed it. And I don't know if any of my family noticed it, but yeah. And after that, it just started, you know, thinning out more. And I let it grow out because I was like, no, I let it grow out and I ended up doing braids. And I did braids, and my manager said to me, he said, your braids are nice, but why are they so thin in the top? And I was like, I'm not even gonna comment on that. But that was the first and only time that I had braids. It was like, no more. I mean, I was really, and I was embarrassed, but it's like, but I was like, I didn't think about like the hairstyle that they wear now. They bundled them up on their head and then make a style with kind of to camouflage, you know, the thinness. But I was like, that was my first and only time that I had braids. Wow. But then I went from that and I did the finger waves, because that would actually cover my hair up as well, you know, the thinness out. And then I let it grow out, and then I started doing the full weave.
Okay.
And that was kind of like my comfort zone for a minute. But yeah, it started, and I'm like, what's gonna be next? But I didn't talk about it at all. Okay. I just mentioned it. Not even my family. I didn't talk to them about it. So they'll probably be hearing some stuff that that's news.
Never heard.
That's my sister. You say brand new news.
Okay, I already know because I didn't tell my family either.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't tell my family what was going on. I really hid it from them, hid it from my girlfriend. So I understand not well, keeping it to yourself. I do. So you started noticing your hair falling, shedding. You started with the different styles. When did you, or when did you make a decision to go to the doctor? Did you, had it gotten so bad to where you were forced to go to the doctors to get a diagnosis? Talk to me about when that happened, how that happened.
Well, none of my doctors ever, talked about, my hair with it, but my doctor that I started with in 2011, we had a really close relationship, and I was really open with him about, everything in my life. And he said to me, about my hair loss and stuff. So he would always encourage me to get a medical diagnosed, but he knew that I had alopecia. Oh. But I just like, no, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to hear it. It was one ear, not the other. And he would frequently ask me, are you ready? And I'm like, no. And then in 2016 is actually when I got my medical diagnosis, and still did nothing, And that's kind of like where, when I was, when I was small, we didn't go to the doctor that much. We got our shots and stuff, but we had a pharmaceutical at home. Either my auntie, my grandmother, somebody, they would give us, we got
home remedies.
Yeah. So we didn't go to the doctor a lot. And a lot of things, from doing that in my family, I just didn't even think about just pursuing it and trying to research it, to know what it entails and how it affected me. But when I did it in 2016, I just kind of like put it away in my medical files and kind of left it there.
Let's unpack that a little bit, because you said that you don't want to talk about it. Your doctor was kind of encouraging you to get a proper diagnosis, but you didn't want to talk about it. Tell me what was going on in your mind that kept you from accepting what you saw in the mirror and accepting what was going on with you? What was going on with you?
Shame, embarrassed, just like being different.
Okay.
Not really knowing who and accepting who I am and what was really happening to my body. It was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to talk to. There's nobody that I wanted to, to even be aware of it. So my hairstylist, they the one knew, only the hairdresser knew a lot what was going on, on the top of my head. But I just had no interest in, pursuing any research or, speaking with another doctor, and I just let it go.
So you just really just didn't want to talk about it at all.
Talk about it. I don't
Period.
Want to talk about it. No.
You don't want to look at it. And what's so interesting, Darlene, is so many women, even men, go through the same thing. We don't want to face what's happening. And I think, like you said, it's fear, it's shame, and it's the unknown. What is going on? Can you give us a verbal, kind of help us visualize what you saw? What did you notice going on with your hair? Where did it start? Because like for me, my hair started falling out at the nape of my neck. Where was it? What was going on when you looked in the mirror? It caused you to be like, nah, this is really not happening.
Well, it was more in the top, it was like thinning in the top. And like I say, the braids, you could really see that it was thinning. And it just like, what's really happened? And it was quick though. It just kind of like happened like within a few months. It was just like gone. Because first it was like gradually you could see it thinning, but then it was like to a point was like, I don't have no hair up there. I didn't have any. But then I would, I did the Rogaine, and I didn't want to do any. He told me about the steroid. My doctor told me about steroids, and I didn't want to do any of that. We did do the Rogaine. We did that, and then just one that I used to do, and I think I found it online or something, where you hold your head down. But I don't even think it was for actually alopecia. And then you rub it so the blood flow gets to your head. The Rogaine is the one that I use the most, but then I wouldn't use it consistently. I would use it, but then they say, from what I read and what I've, been told, that you have to consistently keep using it. You can't stop. You have to use it for the rest of your life. So it's like, I don't have time for that, and I would think about it sometimes, and it's like, I would just get off track and just like, hey, this is just something that I'm going to have to deal with within.
Wow, that Rogaine, I had a friend of mine who had alopecia and she used the Rogaine, but her body responded where she got hair growing everywhere. She grew a mustache, a beard, all of that kind of just, her whole body just started growing hair. So when I knew of her story, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna leave that Rogaine alone because I don't want no hair growing on my chin. We already deal with that anyway as women. You know what I'm saying? A little hair on the chin, maybe a little mustache. So she just kind of grew hair all over her body. So I'm glad you didn't deal with that.
No, I did not. Nope.
I know that's right.
Because I didn't use it enough for long enough.
Yes.
Thing too. So
true. So does as you were going through your journey into the doctors, you did all that, talking with your family, was there anyone else that you knew of that was dealing with alopecia at all?
No, I didn't. Like I say, my father had the same hair loss pattern that I have, and that's androgenic, which is the male pattern. So I kind of like, with men, and I know a lot of men too, they associated with age, that, it's just something that happened with age. They don't really think about that it could be some form of alopecia. And even women too, they think because they get older, their hair thins because of age, but it could be some type of alopecia that they have, hair loss, alopecia, that's what it is across the board. So I didn't talk to anybody about it, not even my kids. And when I did talk to, my husband at the time, he knew that that it was thinning, and we had even talked about doing the Bosley thing and just get 2 for 1.
Okay, so tell us about that. Explain to us what Bosley is and what the process would have been and why you decided against it.
Well, Bosley is a hair implant. You do the implants, and I read about it and thought it was something that I wanted to do, and it's like, this would be life changing for me. I can get a full head of hair, and I'll be normal and don't have to worry about it. But when I did, we had a couple of phone conversations, and then we had a personal consultant, and what they do is they kind of like measure, not kind of, they measure the area where they need to implant your hair. So what they do is they take your hair, it was going to be like a surgical scar in the back of my head where they were going to take my hair, was really thick. So they was going to take that and like shave it off like you see sod or something, and they would take those out and individually implant those in the top of your head. So they had what they had measured mine to be, I can't remember how many I needed, but the cost was about $15,000 for the whole thing. And it wasn't even guaranteed that it would work, because some of them, they wouldn't even take. They said some of them might take, they'll fall out, then you have to go back and get more. And that whole process, when I did the consultation with the one office, and then later on, I did an actual tour of where the surgery center in San Francisco. And we actually watched a couple of patients getting their implants, on their head. But I was all gung ho for it. I was ready. I was excited about it. And I was at the point of getting my surgery date. They called me and they said they have to give me prescriptions to take, before I actually do the surgery. So when they called me, I actually had the flu. And then she said, we'll have to wait and postpone the surgery because, you're on antibiotics and we have to wait till your symptoms of the flu are gone. So at that point, it's like, I guess that happened and I wasn't as interested or excited about it. So they would call me and, schedule. And I said, oh, I don't know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I was just making excuses, but it's just something that I then feel like this is not what I want to do, and you know, when I look back now, it was like, it wasn't meant to be at that, you know, at that time or at a period, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know Boston was like that. That's kind of deep. I'm with you. I probably wouldn't have did it either. Surgery and taking.
Yeah, I mean, but that was my go-to, you know,
I
like
understand.
make me normal. Nobody's gonna ever know. They don't really have to know what's going on. That I had, you know, they don't even have to know that I had the surgery, but you know, I'm full with a full head of hair. They're like, oh, what'd you do? You know, you never know what people think, but I just didn't. I just completely like forgot about it.
Wow. So you had mentioned earlier that you on your journey you hadn't really talked about it to your family, your kids and all that. Did you feel like, for me, I felt like I was a prisoner in my own home because I was hiding. I would you know, of course I wouldn't take off my scarf. My daughter never seen my hair until I came out. But I feel like I put more pressure and stress on myself because of the hiding. I mean, if you can't be free in your own home, you are living in true bondage. And I was. How would you describe your journey during the time of your, we'll say, silence of dealing with the alopecia? Did you feel like you were a prisoner in your own home? I mean, describe to us what it felt like to not be able to talk about it freely, what you were living with and going through with your alopecia.
It was like, you know, why me? You know, that I look at all my, you know, my sisters and they all had, you know, they had, you know, nice hair, thick hair. All my friends had beautiful hair. And it was like, why can't I have that? But I never, you know, like my kids, like I said, they didn't know anything about it. I was like in my own little zone, you know,
Yeah.
would cover my head or just keeping it covered and not even, you know, sharing it with me. I didn't even have, I mean, I have some really close friends that I can share, you know, a lot of stuff with, but this was one that was like, no, I'm not sharing this with anybody.
Mm. So why do you think you didn't want to share? I know why I didn't.
Well,
Let me
because
tell you why I didn't. And you can tell me why you didn't. For one, with me being a hairstylist, I felt like I was totally out of control. Here I am, a person that people come to I offer solutions, you know, but I couldn't fix myself. And so I felt like I was totally out of control. I mean, I didn't want to tell people, you know, that I couldn't, you know, only thing I could do was do the different styles, like I said, the weaves and the hats and the head wraps and all that. But I felt like I just had no control. And by me talking to people and telling them what I was going through, that I was surrendering to my situation. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I just, because I'm such an outgoing person and I've always had desire to always have my hair done. I would have my weekly, every week I was getting my hair done. And it was a short, sassy cut. So it's like, here I am with, you know, these short, sassy cuts and I have no control over my hair that's being lost, you know, that I was losing it. But even when I, you know, even with the wigs, the weaves, my first time that I wore a wig, I said, you know what? I'm gonna have long hair. If I'm gonna have a wig, I'm gonna have long hair.
I understand.
So I never bought a wig without getting it styled. And
Okay.
it's like I didn't want to go when I first bought my first wig, I didn't want to go to my normal hairstylist. I went to a Supercuts or somebody who didn't know me.
Were you trying to hide?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay.
But you know, it was like, they still saw me with the wig. So where that came from, I don't know. You know, it was like I just didn't want them to know that I was wearing the wig, and you know, I think it was I went to the mall. I think my sister Jeanette was with me, and I had on I had get this wig cut. We sitting there waiting in line to get it cut in the mall, but I would always have them styled, whether they were, you know, long or short. But I remember once that I had, I ordered one online, and all of them ordered that I've ordered, they will always be too big. So then they had the measurements that where you can actually measure. I even did the measurements and they still came back too big.
Got a little head like me.
Right. And then I remember one time that I had one and I like cut it out, you know, in the back, and then I set it back up. So I got creative, honey.
Yes. And sometimes we gotta be.
Right. We gotta be creative on that. So I sewed it up and fit, and even the, you know, the little hooks thing where you hook them, they wouldn't always fit. I would cut them off and then sew them back on. But I mean, it's things that I've done in my private little room. You know, that nobody knew about, but yeah,
I understand.
I just didn't want people to know.
I get it. I get it. And you know, there are so many different types of alopecia. Like you said, the genetic alopecia. There's alopecia areata, where I started out with the, you know, bald spots in your head. Sometimes for men, they can get bald spots in their beards and their mustache, eyebrows. Then there's alopecia totalis, where you just lose the hair on your head. Then there's alopecia universalis, where you can lose all body hair. Then there's traction alopecia. You know, you think about how we grew up, all the ponytails, the tight braids, we can just lose the hair around your hairline. And so like for me, I lost my eyebrows, my eyelashes, I lost my nose hairs, and you know, I sniff a lot. I always have some Kleenex because I don't know when my nose is going to start running. I even noticed within the last several months, I believe all the hair in my ears are gone, because when the wind is blowing, because I sleep with a fan at night, you know, I want the little hot flashes.
Right.
It's like the air is just like going straight through it, and I can hear it, and I can feel it. It kind of burns and irritates. And like when I'm breathing outside, well, not with the mask, but before we started wearing the mask, when I would breathe, the air would go right up in my nose would get sore, and then you got the lint, you got all that. So there's so many different types of alopecia. And I don't think people realize that when you don't have something, you can take things for granted. You know what I mean? I didn't realize how important my nose hairs were until I lost them. Now, have you lost your eyebrows and your eyelashes?
No.
Oh, good for you.
No, none of that. I still got all that. Just in the crown of my head.
Woo!
That's
good for you.
So it all.
Good for you. That's excellent. That's really good. But you know, and I think a lot of people aren't aware of this too. Once you have alopecia, or I'll say it like this, one autoimmune disease, you have a higher chance of getting a second autoimmune disease. So do you have, I call it a sister or brother autoimmune disease on top of, in addition to your alopecia?
I do. I have vitiligo.
Now, tell people what that is.
Vitiligo is when you lose your pigmentation of your skin. I have it on my hands.
Okay. Who had that everybody can relate to? Give them a visual of what you're really talking about.
That who can have it?
No, who had that in our lifetime that you can talk about? Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson. And I don't know if it's a pill or whatever they take that just turns your whole body.
One color.
Pigmentation is gone, right, one color. But yeah, I have a little bit on my hands and a little bit on my legs. But you know, hey, these hands, they done pick some cotton too.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, I mean that, and some other members of my family have vitiligo as well. But you know, like I say, when you have one, you can subsequently have two or three or more, because it doesn't stop.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. I tell people all the time. I mean,
you know, my mother had lupus, and that's what she passed when she had lupus. But that's diabetes is also an autoimmune disease.
Yep. Diabetes, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis. I know there's some more I can't think right now, but those are definitely ones that I can think of at the top of my head that are autoimmune diseases that we don't think about as well. What are some of the reactions, or conversations that you've had with people on your journey? Because I got some stories. I got some stories, but can you talk to us about that? What?
When I shaved my head or before I shaved it? Or
Okay, after you shaved your hair, what kind of conversations or interactions have you had with people that kind of blew you back? Like, are you really talking to me? Or their responses. Talk to us about that.
Actually, I haven't had many people that will actually say anything. Well, I don't think I remember anybody who's just like, look, I mean, I have people that stare at me and just wonder. But one person that I had in mind is, this person was always like, always want to be the boss, of everybody. And when I shaved my head, as my grandmother say, I had my Winchester ready for him. Because
that's right.
he was I said, he's gonna say, well, wait, you do your hair. And I was gonna say, my sister, she used to work at the library, and she would always talk about this book that I'm the boss of me. And that's what I was gonna tell him. I had my words already. I was like, last time I checked, I'm the boss of me. But he was totally opposite. He was totally opposite. And he was like, ooh, sis, that looks good. He was like, oh, he said, oh, I like you better. And I was like, okay. But a lot of people that I have that have come up to me and say that, how brave I am, and they wish they can do it, and they have alopecia, they're not ready to go there, and that's okay. Trust me, I understand it. I went to 13, almost 14 years without even, people knowing that I had it. It was in hiding. But it's been one girl had asked, little girl, I was in the grocery store, and she turned around and she asked me, she says, why you don't have hair? So her mom was there, and I said, it's okay if I share with her. So I shared with her what I have, and I was telling her that my I have an autoimmune disease, and my hair thinks my body thinks that my hair is a danger to me, so it like fights it. And she was like, oh, it does like this? And I was like,
I love it.
So cute. And I would say, yeah, that's exactly it. Does like, and she, but you're still beautiful. And I said, well, thank you. So it's like, it's always good to ask. You may stare, and people will stare at you, and they will look at you. And when I was working and I was traveling, my biggest fear was something happened to me in the middle of the night, and either they would come in and I wouldn't have my, I would have my either my bonnet on or whatever it was. So I was like, I know that, because a group of us would go, we'll have our own rooms. And if we didn't show up for work, then they say, somebody was going to be checking on us. And it's like, I was like, afraid that, what if something happened to me in the middle of the night? Should I, what should I do with my wig? Or what should I do? Should I leave it on? Should I take it off? Or sometimes I would just leave it on and put my bonnet on, or sometimes I would tie, my bandit around it or something. It was just, all thoughts were, even at home, when my kids were there, what if they call me? And I think I told my daughter one time, maybe I told it to myself so many times that I may have even told her. I said, if I should die, don't you ever let nobody see me with my wig on.
I understand that.
I told her that, but I was like, I had said it to myself like so many times. But yeah, those things are just something that you just don't talk about until you're ready. And
I get it. I get it. Now, what year did you decide to just shave your hair off and just say, you know what, this is who I am. I'm going to rock my hair bald. Talk to us about what led you to that decision and how it felt when you finally stopped hiding from yourself first.
2018, I wrestled with that, the beginning of the year. And I started to figure out what am I going to do? I was like, I'm going to shave my head. No, I'm not going to shave it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And one of my, which is my co-leader, my support group, her daughter, she had emailed our ministry, our discipleship ministry, and she was interested in taking one of the classes that we were offering, but we know we're no longer offering that class. So we connected that way. And I said, well, I need an assistant, were you interested? So, she decided that she was going to go and, be a part of our group. And I said, just do it for a time period, 30 days and 90 days. And if you don't like it, then that's fine. So we made a connection that way. Her daughter actually had alopecia at a younger age. She had alopecia areata. So we talked about, that. We got connected with that. And then I think probably like in June or July, I contacted NAF, National Alopecia Areata Foundation. And I told them, what's involved in being a support leader. So I said to myself, I don't know if I want to do this. It was in my spirit that like something that I want to do, and I felt that I want to do, and something that I needed to do. So I called them and I was telling her that I had alopecia. And she's asked me if I had alopecia areata. I said, no, I have alopecia androgenic. And we talked, conversation, 15, 20 minutes. And she goes, I'm going to send you the package and you can decide if you want to do it, So I got the package, reviewed it, looked at it. And then one of the things that they needed was like a nurse, that the members could call if they wanted to, someone that they could talk to. So I had that in place, and then I put it down. I didn't do anything for a while. And then I ended up going ahead. I said, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I called her and I did the paperwork and I asked her, I said, I had some questions. So I said, you said that I need a nurse and what else, other questions that she answered those. And she said, you have alopecia and areata. And I said, no. And then she said, she kind of like paused a minute. And I said, is that a problem? She asked me, what did I have? I said, I have alopecia androgenic. And then she kind of paused and she goes, well, you do know that NAF is for alopecia areata, only. And I said,
oh, I didn't know that.
I never thought about that. And I'm thinking like you have different types of cancer. You have alopecia, alopecia. But the true part about that, I really wasn't even knowing what alopecia was. And what I did, we talked to her about that. And she said, well, I'll have to talk to my manager to see if this is something that we can do. Because we never had anyone who didn't have the areata diagnosed to be a support leader.
Wow.
So I said, okay. So then she said, I'll call you back in a couple hours. So she didn't call me back that day. So I woke up the next morning and I noticed, my paperwork was on my desk and I looked at it and I said, Lord, if this is not the platform where you want me to be, then you'll place me where I need to be, where you want me to be. So later that afternoon, she did call me and she said to me, she said, you know what? We're going to allow you to be a support group leader, but we need someone on your admin team that had alopecia areata, or they had someone in their family, that had alopecia areata. So I said, well, what did that look like to you when you went to go talk to your manager? And she goes, I didn't. I just felt that, you were talking about it. I just felt it's something that you really need to do. And we have a need for a support group in Solana County. And so I said, okay. So I said, so you've never had anyone who, you never had anyone to be a leader who didn't have the areata, diagnosed? And she says, no. I said, so I'm the first? And she was like, yep. And I said, okay, I'm just going by what you say. But at that point, I still wasn't so sure. I didn't know what all the ins and outs and how it makes you feel and how you can become depressed. And when I really start shopping for, hair shaving things. And of course I just get them and put them under the counter in the bathroom, didn't do anything with them. But in September, I really started to look, what alopecia is, how it affects and how it all affects everybody. Even our fur animals, you can have it in your nails and,
yes,
all kinds of animals. Alopecia is, it comes in so many forms. So what I did is my story, and I feel that this is where I fell in love with being a support leader, and was when I read the story about, I think this girl in Australia, she is in Australia. She was, I think, 14 years old, and she had tried to commit suicide 15 times and failed. And I read that story and I was like, if I can help somebody along the way, help somebody to get out of that place where they are, where they want to like take their lives. And people who don't have hair, they don't understand what we go through, especially as women who lose their hair, and yes. If you just lose it and I think I heard you mention the other night about if alopecia is like a thief in the middle of the night and you come to rob you. But I remember I had mentioned one in September with our National Alopecia that month, that is like the song goes, "With death should come to you in the middle of the night." I said, what if alopecia comes to you in the middle of the night? You know, and it's so many stories and so many testimonies that I've seen where people go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning with their pillow full of hair, you know, or take a shower and they, you know, rubbing the hair and it, you know, they open their eyes and all the hair is on there. So it is something that, you know, affects, well, I say women because I'm a woman. I don't know how it affects men, you know, but I just think that even with men who are going bald, I feel and I see, it's just my opinion, that they have some form of alopecia. You just don't bald because you're getting old, you know. So it's just educating. My September, when I started in September, I did the whole month, you know, just some type of awareness, you know, from the poorhouse to the White House. You know, I shared about our assembling Ayanna Presley, and it's just all the stuff that we can actually do, you know, to share and to make people aware of it. And it's not that you're telling them to shave their head, but it's just to be aware of it, that it could happen anytime. You know, you can be perfectly fine and have a head full of hair, but just know that it could happen to you as well.
So true. So true. You said so much. No, which is good, because we don't talk about certain things, and you know, as you're conversating with people, it brings things to the forefront, and it helps you remember different parts of your story. Like for me, you talked about depression. For some people, you deal with depression. I know that I did. I went to a dark place in the beginning of my journey, and so it really affects people differently. And like you said earlier, the thief in the night, that's the best way that I can describe alopecia, is it sneaks up on you. It's almost like a thief in the night. I mean, just like when someone gets robbed or their house gets broken into, it's unexpected. And it's like, who is this? What is this? I mean, it literally can rock your world and traumatize you. I mean, because I remember when I looked at myself, like you said, go to bed at night, wake up the next morning, you don't have any hair. I went to bed, woke up the next morning, it didn't have any eyebrows. So it was like a blank canvas for me. I remember when I lost all my eyelashes. Well, what I'm wearing right now are my eyelash accessories. So thank God you can accessorize. But I remember when I woke up and I didn't have any eyelashes. I mean, I don't have any eyelashes on the bottom and I don't have any eyelashes on top. And then when I lost my nose hairs, even now, excuse me, guys, but this is real and raw, okay? So this is what happens to me on a regular basis. I don't have no cold. I'm not sick, but my nose just runs. So this is my truth, okay? So what am I getting at? Everybody's journey, everybody's experience is different, but at the end of the day, everyone needs to get healed. You know, what does freedom look like on you? What does it look like for you? Freedom looks different for everybody. There's some people that will never just shave their hair off. They will continue to wear their wigs and their accessories, because I don't call wigs, I call them accessories, okay? So if you want to accessorize, you can accessorize. Just be confident in whatever accessory you choose to wear for the day. So freedom looks different on everybody. I don't tell people that they're not free because they're not rocking a bald head. You know, that's not fair, and I can't judge you. But at the end of the day, as long as you are healed and you are whole, that's what matters. So let me ask you this, thinking about healing. Did you go through a point or a period on your journey where you had to deal with some inner demons or things that was going on in your life that was lying dormant? Like for me, I can be the example. I had to go deep. I had to get some inner healing for myself, because on my journey, it was hard for me to accept the reflection of what was going on in my life. It wasn't just the hair. I had to deal with my low self-esteem. I had to deal with my rape. I had to deal with my molestation. I had to deal with just so many different demons and issues. And once I went before God and went through some therapy and I started dealing with all that, losing the hair, that wasn't nothing, because I realized that I was whole, you know, I was fearfully and wonderfully made in spite of. So did you deal with any other things outside of just the hair loss? I'll say it like this too. I'm sorry. Through your journey, were you forced to look at different areas of your life that would help you to get the inner healing first?
I looked at my past, and like growing up in the South, and that was just a thing that we were, I thought, well, at that point I thought we were, we were poor, but we lived on the farm and we had hand-me-downs from the white, the white folks, and it was just different. And those things, like, it was like, you don't do certain things, because not so much because of the color of your skin, but is because of the color of your skin. But I really felt like I was different than a lot of my friends. Like, I never really never got to be on the cheerleader, and I always wanted to be a cheerleader. So some of those things that I didn't really get to do when I was younger, that all my friends were, but I was like, why can't I be a cheerleader? Why can't I be on the cheerleader? Why can't I be a flag girl? So a lot of that stuff. And because we were, they say, kept kids, how they would say, like our family they wouldn't tell us a lot of stuff. So dealing with that and having to come out and just learn who I really am myself, and to go through that process, is like, I am who I am. Sometimes we don't want to disappoint our parents or our family for the things that we want to do. So we get, in these traps of things like, I don't want to do this because nobody else in my family has done this, or nobody that I know that have done this. So when I started, like I said, when I was in the fourth grade, from the third grade to the fourth grade, I integrated to an all-white school. And my dad would always come up to see am I okay, and just to check on me. And I'm like, Dad, I'm okay. And it was like to the point where I was like, Dad, why are you here? Don't come peep into my room. And he used to call me the fly in the bowl of buttermilk, because I was there. And even now, in my, my workforce, and that a lot of times I'm only that little fly in the bowl of buttermilk. But through all of that, I have learned that I can do things that maybe nobody else in my family has done, because I was I was the first African-American escrow officer in Solana County. So, and my pastor's father, my current pastor's father, actually, he discovered that, and he was telling me that. So I called around to all the other title companies, but they had never had, African-American escrow officers. They had couriers, they had assistants, and they had that, but they had never had an African-American escrow officer. So, I paved the way for others. And actually, when I bought my house in Fairfield, the assistant to the escrow officer, she did all the work. So I said, girl, you need to be an escrow officer, because I never talked to, well, not say never, but I talked to her more than I talked to the actual escrow officer. So with that, it was like, okay, I'm the person this, I'm the person that. And it's just something that it's kind of like took me out of that, what I can't do, to what I can do. Mm-hmm. And like I said, look back, my dad always called me that, fly in the butt above milk. But I feel that being different now, that maybe I was chosen. And I guess I was chosen, to be this person, whether it's in my family or where it is, to be where I am. Even on this platform right now, I'm so honored to be there. My goal is to continue to encourage people. You are beautiful who you are. You have superpowers that you don't even know. And I'm learning a lot. I clap for me. I have my life certification transition coach, and I have that since July of last year, and I've continued my education.
Congratulations.
In confidence, as well as alopecia confidence. And the joy that I see, you know, of the clients, and of how that one question that you can ask them, you know, that they already know, they already have the answers, but just, you know, being alongside of them to see those aha moments that they have, and to know that, you know, they can enjoy life, you know, fully enjoy life, but they have to want it. You have to want it. You know, sometimes it's painful, you know, you know, you want the pain or you want the fame, which one it is. And the fame just means to be who you are, you know,
Yes.
be who you are, love who you are, get to know who you are and the things that you really want, so that you can wake up every morning motivated, you know, to do whatever it is that you want to do. So I'm just, you know, going through all that, you know, I've learned to be me. I've learned to, my daughter told me, she's like, Mom, you have expectations of people. And when they don't, you know, you get, you know, kind of irritated. So I'm learned to like, okay, what you want to do, you do you know, okay, but I still have to set the boundaries. Like, well, I'm not going to accept this. This is what I can give you. And you know, if it's not what you want, then, you know, we're going to have to move on to something else.
Exactly. So would you say that with having alopecia, it has made you a stronger person? How has alopecia affected you in a positive way as far as who you are today?
I'm just free, you know. I'm you know,
That's
I
good.
love I love it. I feel good about myself. I'm not trying to be a person pleaser, you know, myself. I just want to be happy, and I'm happy, and I find joy in the things that I do. My support group and the people that come to me, they say, "How do you do that?" And I said, I do it because I'm comfortable in doing it. You know, a lot of people would tell me, you know, I'll say I have alopecia, and they say, "Girl, we thought you were just somebody just rocking a bald head." So, and that makes me feel good. You know, it makes me like, okay, if this person can do it like you know, then I can do it, or the next person. And it's all about what you want. You know, how you want to perceive yourself. Sometimes you look in the mirror and you want to look like somebody else. You know, but you can't look like that other person. And I'm glad I don't look like everybody, you know, but you have to realize who you want to be and be that person. Your I am statements you have to do, you know, you have to encourage yourself sometimes. This is who
That's
I
right.
am, and this is what I want to do.
Hmm.
And then do it. You know, sometimes
Yes.
it's easier to say it than to do it, but sometimes you just have to take one step at a time. You know, it's like, you know, putting the big rocks in, going through the big stuff, and then the sand goes in and everything fits perfectly. So you have to, you know, make your choices yourself. That's going to benefit you and to make you a better person.
I know that self-talk is everything.
Yes.
That self-talk is everything. That's amazing. I absolutely love your view, just your standpoint, your way of looking at things, and your journey. That's amazing. That's just amazing. So if there was someone that is watching the video right now, watching our interview, they happen to just plug in and they're dealing with alopecia, they're dealing with hair loss, what words of encouragement or what tools would you give them to help them on their journey?
Realize what your what is. Your what is whatever that is that you have. You may have cancer, you may have alopecia, it may not, you know, whatever it is, deal with the what. And for me, my what has played a big part in my why, you know, my why. And it's so what, you know, I look at things too and I say, so what if I have to wear something, a covering on my head in the wintertime or the summertime, you know, so what? So what? You know, it's like, what can you do about it? So when you accept your what, you know, and deal with what it is that you think is not good, it becomes good. And, you know, your what and so what, and like I said, you or guess what, you know, guess what? Well, like I was saying, I have another autoimmune disease. I have vitiligo. So it doesn't end the world for you. You know, you just got to realize that you got to keep going. You know, the sky's the limit. You know, you got to, you know, make your reservations, pack your bags, go to the airport and fly.
I know. I love that. I know that's right. Yes. I love it. Pack your bags, make your reservations, go to the airport.
Now, but yep. And take your plane.
Your bags.
Move on up. So yeah, I mean, it's just acceptance, you know, when you accept it and then you you can, start sharing. I share, and that gives me relief. It gives me joy. It motivates me even more. This week has been a, off the chart week for me. It's unusual, 8-9 hours, a day. But right now I feel like, Alka-Seltzer thing, pop, fizz, biz. Well, what a relief. I feel good, even though, my work week was crazy, a little bit unusual, but, just, like talking about stuff, reminding myself of what I went through is always a relief, and it, calms my nerves and, helps me to move forward, keep moving forward.
Oh, that's good. Talk to us about what are your future plans as it pertains to spreading awareness and being a support to other people. What does that look like for you in the near future?
Well, I'm going to continue making awareness, being, sharing awareness. My support group, we've gone virtual. My anniversary is coming up. Our first year anniversary is February 20th. So we're going to be celebrating our first year for our Alopecia Superheroes Are Unstoppable.
Yes.
It's going to be next month, and we're going to, continue to support them, continue to motivate them, inspire them to, be who you are, be who you want to be. We all have superpowers that are in us. We just got to find them, and then let them fly. But I'm also working on another project. I'm being patient, backing up, because sometimes I put myself in it and it's like it doesn't work. So I am working on that, and slowly, but not in a rush. I got some good news today, actually, that, what I was going to be, looking for. So it's coming, like I said, I'm not in a rush for it. And just, I do my 30 days in September, I continue to do that, just supporting and sharing it, because people don't know all the ins and outs of alopecia and all the different types of alopecia. So the more people that we, keep sharing with them and making them aware, and like you said, the 168 million people, that actually have alopecia. And we know those numbers are growing, are growing, because that was, some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to go global, and we are, able to do that now because we are on Zoom. Nobody can't meet and greet. So the sky's the limit for that. So I'm looking forward to, continue my journey, being confident in what I do, and just, helping anybody else that needs, call me up. I got some, space on my calendar. Feel y'all need some coaching.
Yes.
In the room. Because I think that I know that's a great thing. And it's been for me just to talk it over with people. And then, like I say, finding your own, your journey, your whatever you need to lead a full life, So it's just always helpful to have somebody there that you can talk to and get you out of that place where you're stuck.
Yes.
Move forward.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This has been so good. So yummy, I like to say. So yummy. But I want to kind of transition and talk about some fun stuff. I'm excited about our collaboration that we're doing. I'm so excited because we know it's far and in between for us to see things out in society, in the marketplace, see people that look like us.
Right.
How often do we see that? We don't see it often. But we have collaborated. You guys see this beautiful Barbie doll. You got yours? Let me tell you guys what we're doing. We are giving away Barbie dolls. Can you imagine being a little girl or even a woman that can see a Barbie doll that looks like them? I mean, this is amazing. We're going to be actually, we already started shipping these out all over the world. I shipped some out to Ghana, and across the country, and I have about 10 to 15 tomorrow that I will be shipping out. Darlene has some as well. And we just want to put a smile on a little girl's face, on a woman's face. And if you guys want to help us, we don't need any more dolls right now. We want to get rid of the dolls that we have. But if you want to help us with shipping costs, you can. because that's where the cost comes in. I found that out the hard way. That's okay. So I'm going to leave my Cash App in the comments section, and you guys are welcome to, donate that way. But I've already posted a video of one of our babies who received her doll, and it just made her world. And I like yours. Mine don't have a wig. Mine just has like little boots.
Mine has two wigs. Has two wigs, has a bandana, has the sunglasses, the unicorn headband, honey. Yes, she's got it going on.
Mine just has the little boots.
Uh-huh.
And her hoop earrings.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. And then this one has darker hair. This one has blonde hair.
Wow.
Bandana, sunglasses. Yep. Brave, strong, and beautiful Barbie. That's what it says.
That's amazing. My phone just went out on me. That's amazing. Okay. I don't know what's going on with that. That's amazing. So I just want to encourage everyone who wants to help us with the campaign to I don't know what happened to but that's okay. Wow. Okay. I want everyone who wants to help us. I will drop the Cash App in the comment section, and you can help us with offset the cost, because what I found when I went to the post office is that you got to find a package, and I got to pay for extra packaging to put this inside of. Then you have to pay an additional amount for the actual shipping. So that's why it kind of adds up. But we're excited about doing this. But let's talk about the only Bald Life magazine on the planet. Yeah. Okay, in the marketplace. Do you have your copy in front of you?
I do. It's right here. It's not right.
Okay, go get yours before I show mine. This is so exciting. So exciting. I cannot even. Janice, can you? Let me see. For some reason, my phone, my thing just totally logged out of my thing. That is so weird. Facebook is crazy. But anyway, so guys, okay, so Darlene has volume 1 and yes. I have volume 2. So I want to ask you, Darlene, what was your thoughts when you seen this? How do you think this magazine is going to be a game changer for someone living with alopecia? Just kind of tell me what you thought about when you saw it and all that.
It was like you say, it's the only place where they see us all bald. It's the only place that they see us all bald. And it's like being different, have your own little unique, like Ebony and Essence and all those that used to be. But it's just wonderful. It's wonderful to see that so many beautiful women, and even the kids that are in here, they are just so adorable. And just to see their attitudes, and that would bring me joy, because they are the ones who really can't defend themselves, as we adults can. So I just love to see their attitudes, their spirits. Like I say, I have a 4-year-old that's in my support group, and I just love, she dances, she sends me videos sometimes, and it's just a joy. It's just a joy, just to see them start at that early age, because before a lot of, they would cover their heads up or wrap them up, even the parents would take control and not let the kids be free. So it's just a beautiful magazine. So it's so, I don't know. I'm just so honored to even be on this platform with you, honey. I can't wait to what our next steps are going to be, but I'm game for it. But it's just something that, like you said, you've never seen it before, and it's the first of its kind. And I just appreciate, and I'm honored that, Jamie, that you even came with this idea and just sharing it with all of us. We're one of a kind.
Honey, God gave me this for us.
Yes,
imagine.
Well, I accept it for us. Yeah, because you don't see that, and there's more people that are. Oh yeah, I think I have. No, yours is different. You got the second.
Yeah, mine. This is volume.
And then we have men in here too.
Yes. Yep. There's men.
Yeah.
It's just simply amazing to see the diversity of people.
Yeah.
Isn't it just like beautiful? I mean, we have people from Egypt, Colombia, the UK, Ghana, Spain. I mean, all over the world that are in these two magazines. It's just simply amazing. So all I'm asking is that you guys will support us by purchasing. I'll put the link in the comment section. Support us and purchase a magazine. Help us continue to do what we do. And so, in addition to that, besides the magazine and the Barbie doll campaign, we also just finished up a wig giveaway. We just did a wig giveaway. We gave away 9 wigs, and so we believe in giving back as well. So I'm just excited. Thank you so much, Darlene, for being here on tonight. I appreciate you. I look forward to our continued collaboration. I don't know what the future holds for you and I, but I gotta show this. For those of you who want to rock
your ball.
Is this shirt everything ball? So you guys have to get a t-shirt. Isn't this amazing? We even have jackets, okay?
Yes.
We have a whole line, okay? Hoodies and all that. So you guys get you a ball boss attire, apparel, all of that. So I'll drop all that in the comment section. And thank you again, sis, for being here. And thank each and every one of you for taking time out on your schedule on tonight to share with us, to be here. Please share this video because you don't know who needs it. Somebody that's a friend of yours may need to hear Darlene's story. So please share. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week at the same time and the same channel. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bald Life TV. So I'm going to put all that information in the comment section. Now, did you want to say anything to anybody before we say goodbye?
Oh, well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we're just happy to share our stories. And we hope that someone along the way, you see somebody, share the video with them, and just let it be a part of. We're part of America. We're growing. We're growing. Yes. We're on the map now.
Yeah, we're global. We are worldwide. How about that?
How about that one? That part.
We are worldwide. Right? Yes, Bald Life magazine is global, all over the world, and I do not take it lightly. I'm honored. So honored. So thank you, sis. We'll be talking in every. Yes.
Thanks for having me. Well.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.